as a background, information sharing in this context, which is in the incident management context, refers to the sharing of threat and mitigation of threat information. Rarely does this term mean they're talking about a victim's impact on their critical assets or the specifics of what information may have been lost. That's not usually what information sharing in this context is referring to. Instead, it's usually referring to the behavior of adversaries, the behavior of malicious files or systems that are participating in attacks or in unauthorized activity on the internet or on a network or on the host. Incident management teams usually need to share information with each other and with others in the security community. And that information is usually on the threats that they have found or information about the threats that they have found during the course of their investigations. More recently, public and private sector organizations have been participating in threat information sharing on a much broader scale than ever before. There's really been a widespread adoption of technology to assist in faster sharing of more information about the activities that are happening against various teams and what they have been able to uncover in their investigations. So some of the motivations and for why teams would share information, this is proprietary information that the team may have through its own observations. They've typically spent a lot of time, effort, and resources to collect this information, and now they're talking about sharing parts of that information with others, largely for free or for a small fee. So some of the motivations for doing this would be to gain awareness of threats that other organizations are experiencing that you may be able to use in your own defenses. So you may be able to learn about threats before or even after they've hit you, and you may not even know about it until you hear about somebody else who's been hit, and then you go looking for the same things that have hit them, and you discover that you actually were hit by them, but previously, and you did not detect it. So you could also do the same thing for another organization. If you get hit by something first and tell another organization about it, it could either help them prevent it from hitting them or may help them detect something that has hit them. So you can discover incidents that you didn't know about previously through these shared sources of information. You could help others discover activity they didn't know about. You could also sort of improve your own general understanding of the activities that the collective of your adversaries are having on the collective of their victims. Ideally, what this does is to improve stability and security on the internet because you can now identify large sections of malicious activity. Sometimes that analysis of many victims can lead you to some kind of protective action, such as the takedown of a variety of malicious sites or other intervention methods that you can use to discourage those bad behaviors. So additionally, there's a lot of study that goes into the cost of an attack. Typically, if an attack is low cost and the cost of defense is high, the adversaries are in a competitive advantage and are able to execute many attacks for a low cost against a defender. If you can increase the economic cost of an attack, you might be able to reduce the asymmetry between the two groups. Some additional benefits that are more direct to the business case for information sharing are that this can really align, the information that you receive in information sharing can align very well with many different parts of the incident handling life cycle. So for example, information sharing can help you and your team and your own constituents prevent incidents. It can help them detect incidents, such as through log files or other sources of attack data inside of your network. You could also use it during the analysis phase, such as to identify connections between incidents that are happening both in your organization and to somebody else, and pick up new data that you may not have known about before that improves your analysis of the situation overall. And it can also be used during response. You can use this to provide information in your responses that you may not have previously known about. So if somebody in your constituency also experienced the same activity that somebody else is reporting, you can help connect those two organizations together, and they may collectively be able to come up with a better strategy for response that can eradicate the activity more quickly. So some of the benefits that you can find for information sharing during actual incident investigations are that sometimes you may have some hard questions that you need to answer, and you can't answer them without some amount of information from other teams. So one example that of a hard question that you may ask during an investigation is, I'm looking at some activity, I see something that may have happened. Is this attack a serious threat, or is this a sophisticated threat? So for example, is this targeting me, right? Am I the only one that's seeing this? Am I the only one that's been affected by this? And one of the ways that you could try to answer this question would be to look at some of the threat intelligence that's being shared by other teams and see if what has affected you is actually in that intelligence. And if it isn't, it could be a signal that you are the only one that is experiencing this kind of attack. It may indicate that it's a targeted attack. You need to be careful about the conclusions that you draw, because not everybody shares everything that they see. So really what you're talking about is a convenience sample where you're only seeing what you really have available access to. You're not seeing all of the things that you don't have access to. Another hard question is this attack a new or novel threat? Is it rare? So again, if other teams are already reporting about it, it's probably not that rare. Although it might still be serious, it just might not necessarily be particularly new. So you can answer some hard questions about your investigations during your investigation.